Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to another weekly trading review. I'm gonna be going over this week. I took one trade this week, which was a loss, but I learned a huge lesson. Hopefully, you enjoyed the video. Maybe you learned something. Peace out. Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to another video, man. Today is a weekly trading review. I'm gonna be going over this week's trade, the trades I took this week, and how I can improve going into next week, and just reflecting on what I did this week and how I can improve. Yeah. So I took one trade this week, and that was this trade, which was a bad trade, and it was a loss. So I have everything here. So let's just get into it, man. So this week I'm down 244 kroner, or down 4%. It's not 4% of my account size. It's like almost like half a percent of my account size. So I had 4 trading days. I had one trade taken, 0% win rate since it was a loss. Rule adherence score was 3 out of 4 days. It was 4 days this week because Monday was President's Day. It was market closed. Emotional control average was a 8.25 out of 10, and daily performance rating average was a 7.5 out of 10. So what I said was this week continued the theme of patience under inactivity, but introduced a different execution failure than last week. Capital impact was negative, but exposure remained limited. The defining characteristics of this week was over-filtering, followed by forced participation, not impulsivity. So this was not a psychological breakdown week. This was a setup, qualification, and timing discipline week. So I'm going to be talking about what I did well this week. First off, strong no trade discipline on valid no trade days. So 3 out of 4 days were correctly identified and executed as no trade days. There was no forcing in suboptimal market conditions. Capital preservation constantly prioritized. No boredom driven entries. Emotional neutrality maintained during inactivity. Days 1, 3, and 4 were clean. Market context assessed accurately. A plus criteria respected, disengagement aligned with rules, emotional control remained high. That confirms that no trade discipline remains stable even after last week's work. Inactivity is no longer a trigger, it's a neutral state. Number 2, what I did well was emotional control after a flawed loss. The loss I took on RXT was handled professionally post entry. I did no revenge trading, no emotional re entry, risk accepted, emotional control held at 8 out of 10. And that was this trade right here. No, uh, even though it was going back up, no revenge trading, all of that. So that was good. So despite the trade being invalid, post-loss behavior remained correct. That separation is critical. So loss and stability equals psychological robustness. This trait is compounding in my favor. Number 3 was acceptance of slow, boring session without narrative inflation. On Friday, was handled exactly as it should be. Low expectations, no searching for action, no internal pressure to make something happen. Keep it boring is now behavior, not just intent. So this is professional level process maturity, keeping it boring. That's the most important part, especially when we're in slow markets. So yeah. And what went wrong this week? There was one core execution error caused by familiar but evolving patterns. So number 1, forced entry after stagnation and clear resistance on RXT. This was the only trade taken and it should not have been. The key issues is entry occurred after stagnation, clear resistance was visible, not a valid pullback, trade was taken after missing the correct earlier opportunity. So this resulted in one rule violation, an avoidable loss, and reduced daily performance rating. This was not impatience in the classic sense. This was over filtering. It goes from over filtering into self pressure into forced correction. So basically, I waited for perfect. I missed the good trade, but then I entered a bad trade, and that sequence matters. That's I had like a mind blow. It was mind blowing basically. So here's the daily breakdown. Day 1, behavior quality was very good, 0%. It was a correct no trade day, strong patience. On day 2 on Wednesday was down 4%. Behavior quality was below standard. Notes was forced entry after stagnation on RXT. On Thursday was 0%, very good behavior quality, correct no trade day, disciplined filtering. On day 4 on Friday was a good behavior quality, clean disengagement on slow Friday. And there is an emerging pattern. A clear evolution and clear friction point is visible. So previously, inactivity turned into frustration, which caused forced participation. And last week, inactivity caused patience, which turned into disengagement. So this week, high selectivity turns into missed optimal timing, turns into forced late entry. So I'm no longer over trading. The current risk is miscalibrated strictness, followed by late emotional correction. This is a higher order problem, but still a very real one. So my key observation is that I can now sit out without discomfort, stay emotionally neutral during inactivity, take losses without spillover, and the next refinement is correct participation timing. Not early, not perfect, not late. Execution quality now depends on trusting valid setups before they degrade. Waiting too long is no longer discipline, it becomes distortion. So, my conclusion is that this was a low activity controlled risk week with one forced execution error, one avoidable loss, 3 professional no trade days, emotional regulation remained stable, a clear execution timing issue identified. Capital damage was limited, process integrity mostly held. The mistake was specific, repeatable, and correctable. This is not regression, this is refinement under tight filters. So my focus for next week is to number one, respect valid setups and not perfect ones. Before passing on a setup, I need to ask myself: is this A plus setup by rules, or am I adding fear-based filters? Uh, I do not move goalposts mid-session. Number two, no late entries after stagnation or resistance, ever. If the move is over, it's over. Late entries are worse than no trades. No exceptions. Number three, maintain emotional neutrality. Whether inactive or losing, I need to have no self-judgment, no compensatory behavior, no narrative creation. Only execution quality matters. Quality. Uh, and my action plan for next week is gonna be, with my trading rules in priority, is number one, A plus setups only as identified, not idealized. No entries after stagnation or into resistance. Missed trades equals no trade day, not forced replacement. My tactical adjustments is label setups as valid versus perfect. If optimal entry is missed, I need to disengage, except that not every green move is mine to take. So this is pretty much what I was struggling with before, and it's kind of like popping back up again. So I need to stop looking for perfect entries. I'm looking for valid entries. And this is my summary to carry forward. This was a no trade day. No trade discipline remains strong. Emotional control is stable. I had one forced trade due to over filtering. Clear timing calibration needed. Focus shift from restraint into trusting earned setups. The objective remains unchanged. Fewer trades, valid confirmation, timely execution, immediate disengagement when missed. I'm still on the right trajectory. Now the work is precision, not control. So that was this week. I'm down like $20 this week, which is not that big of a deal. I'm still learning. I'm still at the learning curve. And yeah, so basically, this trade I took on Wednesday was a bad trade. It has clear resistance right here at 133. If I just put a line right here, you can see the resistance. You see it's getting right when it touches 133 down. It was a little bit over and down. touches it down, touches it down. Like, it's not a good setup. It was a forced setup. The good trade was over here, and I could have sold over here. So, but I entered over here where my mentor actually sold. My mentor took this trade here and sold right where I bought, which was a huge issue. Should have not taken this trade, and yeah, I was not mad about it. It's a learning opportunity, which is good. So yeah, we'll see how next week is going. Hopefully, much better. Peace out.